Welcome to snowy Florida.
Coldest night of the season so far, guys. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Cold weather warnings and advisories are in effect across Florida, and we're expecting some cold nights here in Tampa Bay.
Temperatures over the past several days are killing fish.
Historically low temperatures swept across Florida last week, with some areas experiencing conditions well below freezing.
At or below freezing.
Reports of fish die-offs throughout the state have raised concerns with both anglers and the health of our fishermen.
This is what the cold does.
Among the hardest hit species here in Tampa Bay is the snook, a fish that thrives in water temperatures between 70 degrees and 82 degrees. When water temperatures drop to 50 degrees, snook become dormant. And at 45 degrees or lower, snook face a high risk of mortality.
Not really high hopes for fishing today. That cold front that we had pushed through last week just absolutely tore everything up. I hollered at some of my buddies up in North Florida and South Florida, and it seems like, kind of dead fish all across the state. I even had a buddy who fishes, right around here in my backyard. He said there's dead snook, a good few dead snook. So I decided that I'd come out today and kind of just do a scouting mission. We'll see, how the cold affected everything, see if there's much of a bite at all. It's low tide, as you can see now. I don't know why I thought it would be a good idea to do my intro leaning on this. I have oysters going up my butt. We're gonna start the day fishing low and slow with the NLBN 3-inch paddle tail on a 1/4 ounce jig head. And then hopefully, if there's any snook left back here, they'll push up shallow a little bit later on in the day, and we can cast to them with a little lighter jig head. All right, you guys have seen me fish this area a good bit. This is kind of my go-to spot where I've had the most consistency. Now I went with a heavier weight today because, oh man, I got thumped right there. I went with the heavier weight today because obviously those fish are gonna be really, really deep early in the morning. We'll throw the 1/4 ounce for a little while, see if we get bumped. I think I just got bumped on my first cast. We'll just keep doing that and see if we can drum up something. It wasn't as cold this morning as it has been. It's been pretty freaking chilly. I know we had highs in the 50s last week. It looks like the lows in the 50s today. So we should get pretty close to that 70-degree mark. And hopefully that warms the water enough for these snook to start chewing, but it's just a tough time of year. It's a tough time of year to fish for my favorite species. I hooked something. Doesn't feel like I hooked it right. Oh, a snook ate, all right. I didn't even feel him. All right, come on, dude. Oh, he just got off right there. Well, that was an all right start to the day. I didn't even feel that thing eat. Well, there's no better time to get in the kayak than when you get snagged. So let's go get that. All right, that's the one downside. Well, I mean, there's multiple downsides to fishing the bottom, but that is definitely one of the bigger ones. I told myself today, I'm not gonna groan every time I get in the kayak. I already failed that. And every time I hook a fish, I'm not gonna say, that's a fish. I gotta stop every single time. That's a fish, that's a fish, that's a fish. Yeah, bro, we know. You're fishing. All right, let's go get this thing. Ideally, we should just be able to drive right past it and it'll pop out. Haha. So I didn't fish any of this over here. I just basically fished where I could cast, which was honestly pretty far. You can bomb this thing. But we'll fish around here. In here, we can definitely get away with fishing that heavier weight. When the sun comes up a little bit more and that water gets moving, we definitely cannot. Let's fish low and slow for a little bit longer, and then gotta get this dang tide moving. That's a fish. All right, I have to play this fish really soft. I have a 1,000 reel and 20-pound leader. That guy came out of nowhere. just need him to stay on here. Oh, that's not a good hook. All right, that's a decent little snook. Wow, that hook is not in there very well at all. All right, guys, here he is, first decent snook of the day. And I was just working that heavier bait real close to the bottom. Not a gigantic fish by any means, but definitely a good little snook. We'll get him back in the water. I don't want to keep him out for too long. There appears to be at least a few surviving snook in here. That was a decent one. I'm happy to see that. I'm not sure how many dead fish we're gonna have in the area. We'll get back in the yak, keep tossing around the baits a little bit, but definitely good to see. Definitely good to see. I mean, that was a pretty decent snook right there. I'm not mad at that. I was just working the bottom really slow, and he came up and ate it. Today, I wasn't expecting to hook into anything of decent size, and I'm not saying that was a big snook by any means. I definitely got to play him a little bit slow. I brought 20-pound leader and a 1,000-pound reel. 1,000-pound reel. Good Lord. I brought 20-pound leader and a 1,000 reel. It'll get us through, but I'll tell you that water is moving now. But it might be time to take off the hoodie, and hopefully the bite will pick up here in a sec. Yeah, let's turn around so we're not going right over where the guy's fishing. Okay. That was a little tarpon. Alrighty. Well, that surprised the crap out of me. I thought that was a ladyfish at first. No, little tarpon. And we're just gonna come right in front of where I'm fishing. Not a care in the world. Right there, yeah, it's too shallow, turn around. Nope, they're gonna keep coming. All right, common sense prevails. As soon as I see these people, a fish hits. I don't know if they're good luck or bad luck. We'll see how close they get to me. The closer they get to me, the farther they live from Florida. They go right in front of my line. They're from California. A little surprise tarpon hit there. That was pretty cool. Those people on the kayak turned, they went in the other direction, so maybe they're from Florida, but that lady said, if we bring our fishing poles, we know exactly where to go. Because she saw me hook that tarpon. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's another poon. He just spit it. All right. Little tarpon in January, man. Nothing like it. Damn near February. Hooked a couple tarpon, caught a few snooks so far. I think I've only been out here for a couple hours. I need to take this damn hoodie off, dude. I am dying, but I don't want to take my GoPro off and stop fishing for a second because I mean that was 2 tarpon hitting, 10 minutes. It's not bad. Where this area opens up right here, all that water comes over what I was standing on earlier. So where all that water comes off of, all the bait on an incoming tide gets pushed off of that into this area. So the tarpon will sit, and snook probably, but most recently tarpon, will sit right on the edge of that. And as the bait comes over that, boom, bait in their face. So I'm just kind of doing what nature's doing and throwing my lure right there. Throwing my lure right there. What the f was that? Well, that's unfortunate. And I've been casting for the last 30 minutes and I'm reeling up my plastic and a fish comes right next to the kayak after it. He was right next to me and saw me and just went right back down. Dude, I needed that. I don't know what these birds are doing, but there's a ton of them. I bet you there's dead fish. You know what, let's go investigate. Let's go see what those birds are doing. What is that? It looks like a dead fish. That's a jack. I almost thought it was a tarpon for a second. That's a jack. It still sucks though. I mean, that was a good sized jack. I mean, he's been eating, well, from mouth to fin, I guess. It's unfortunate. There's definitely like a dead fish smell in the air. If you guys remember how red tide smells, I mean, that's exactly how it smells over here. So I think there's more dead fish than we're seeing. Yeah, there's a little jack, another jack's head right there. Oh man, that sucks. It's a dead tarpon, dude. Just stone cold dead. Well, we'll continue out. This is just making me sad, dude. I mean, that just sucks. That's a big snook. Oh, dude. That's unfortunate. Wow. Decent fish right there, too. Ugh. I mean, something will eat it, but it just sucks to see.
Look, I understand. It's a part of life. Fish die. But seeing something that myself and so many other anglers admire and respect just cease to exist is heartbreaking in its own way. The fisheries in Florida already take so many hits every year with red tide and waste dumping that seeing fish belly up is becoming too regular a sight for us anglers who spend the time on the water. I fished around a little bit after that, caught a few like dink snook here and there, but honestly, man, I was just a little bummed out seeing all those fish. I mean, I understand like grand scheme of things, it's probably not the biggest deal, but for an area that I frequent, and you guys probably have spots like it that you just like to go hit, you know, a peaceful place that you usually catch fish and just enjoy yourself there. I mean, it sucks to see that hurt at all. Whether it's, you know, one fish that's not being handled correctly, or, you know, 20 fish that are dead to the cold, or 100 fish that are dead to red tide or pollution or whatever. Yeah, so sorry if that bummed you guys out. I just kind of wanted to share my experience on the water and show a little bit about what I'm seeing over here in a spot that I spend a lot of time at. In happier news, again, every single week I tell you guys the same thing, but thank you for all the support and the likes, especially on the last video, man. That video just blew up. Ton of new subscribers, so welcome you guys. You know, ton of repeat people coming through again, so thank you guys too. The biggest thing, I just hope I'm putting out stuff that you guys enjoy. You know, I like to share my experience on the water with you guys, you know, show you what I'm seeing, maybe, you know, teach you guys something that I found out. Every time I go out, I feel like I learn something new, you know, learn a new place that a fish is coming from, or a new direction that they'll face, or new habits that they have. And so sharing that with you guys is cool. I think that's pretty much it, man. Again, sorry if I bummed you guys out with the ending there. Just sucked. You know, just sucks. But thank you guys for watching. As always, if you guys feel inclined to like, comment, subscribe if you aren't already. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all next week.